I feel like shit.
Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
It's just one of those
happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums.
It's just one of those days where you don't wanna wake up. Everything is everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you wanna justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet,
Just knock it off, you scum fuckhead.
it's just one of those days. It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those days.
The weekend comes, my cycle hums. Ready to make space.
It's just one of those days, feeling like a freight train. First one to complain, leaves with the bloodstain. Damn right, I'm a maniac. You better shoot, cause I'm fucking up your program. And if you're stuck up, you just locked up. Next in line to get fucked up. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just,
I'm losing my cool.
it's all about,
Happy days.
it's just one of those,
Happy days.
it's just one of those days.
The weekend comes, my cycle hums. Ready to make space.
Feel like shit. My suggestion is keep your distance. Right now I'm dangerous. Right now I'm dangerous.
Something's happening to the bonds.
And my day keeps going this way and this way.
I'm gonna pop you one so you'll stop playing games.
Give me something great. Give me something great. I hope you know I like a chainsaw. A chainsaw. A motherfucking chainsaw.
What?
So come and get it.
What we got here is a case of mistaken identity, you know? See, now this here
Not Robert.
That explains it. Right, there we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chief Moody, and welcome to episode 233 of the Mood of the Nation podcast. It's been another, 2 months or something like that. I know I keep seeing over and over again in the past that I was going to do a stream here and there, but again, just other things were caught up, busy with work and all that stuff. And there's really no need to really go more into it. That's pretty much the basic gist of it. There were times where I wanted to do a stream, but I just couldn't be bothered. And then there actually were times where I was actually planning on coming back, but unfortunately other things came in the way. As a matter of fact, this past weekend I was definitely going to be streaming on this past Saturday, but there was a bit of I don't know, was it Friday? Because Friday was when I had the internet issues that were going on at the time, but it's all been sorted and all that. Then I was going to do the stream on Sunday instead because I was going out on Saturday night, or at least hanging out with my mate. So I thought I would do the stream on Sunday instead. Well, Sunday came around and I ended up hurting my back. So what happened was I was going to just put my phone in the charger just to charge up a little bit and all of that, of course. And then all of a sudden I just get this real intense sharp pain in my lower back, and I'm just like, oh Jesus Christ. So I just have to I guess I can't really do the stream properly, because at that point I was starting to limp. It was pretty bad, surprisingly, and I was actually getting a little bit worried regarding to that. But yeah, it's a little bit better now. I can actually walk around a bit more and actually do stuff and lift and stuff and all of that. So it's not too bad at the end. But anyways, so a lot of things have happened, but we're here now. And I know I said in the past, I'm going to do more and more streams here and there, but I can't guarantee it when it comes to it. I'm going to, I keep saying it, but I'm going to try and do more streams. Maybe not, but just take that with a pinch of salt type of thing. But I'm going to try and come back as more as I possibly can. But anyways, let's see who's in the chat just now. I do see a few familiar faces at the moment. If I can, I'm just kind of figuring out this new interface on StreamYard is a little bit different than when I last used it. But anyway, Exile Viking is here. How you doing? Chaz Smash, how you doing? Aunt Sally's with us. How you doing? Just happened to see a notification on my phone. Oh, cool! You actually got a notification, Aunt Sally. That's actually really good to see. Well, at least it actually does work with some people, so that's fine and dandy. But yeah, I'm back. So 10 people watching, not bad. And I'm actually quite surprised at that. I thought maybe there would be a lot less, considering I haven't really been streaming for the past, what, almost 2 months or something like that. But yes, I'm back, and a lot of things have happened, which I'm definitely going to be covering quite a few things tonight. Maybe do the stream for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, but we'll see from there when it comes to that. So, but I'm back for the umpteenth billion fucking time. So, but anyways, yeah, where to start the stream today? Well, I guess what we could start off with, of course, if you want to support me, support the show, the link for my PayPal account is in the description down below. It is up there as well as a pinned comment. So if you want to send a shekel or two, you can if you want to. That would be much appreciated. Of course, entirely optional. You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you do, that would be fantastic, and I would greatly appreciate that. So, good evening, Chief Mooney. Missed you at the protest event. I'm assuming that's the UKIP demo we were at in Glasgow. I think that was when was that actually again? Was that mid-July or something like that? But yeah. So I'm starting to kind of getting back into the protest scene again, considering we found out on Falkirk. Well, I wasn't at the Falkirk demonstration this past Saturday, but I will talk about that in a minute or two because there's been a lot that has come out of that. Considering also I'm based in Falkirk, or at least Falkirk is my hometown. So, but I'll definitely cover that. But yeah, I'll start off with protesting because I've been doing that a little bit more. So we have garnered a few more activists within PA Scotland, which I'm pretty happy with. We've actually garnered a lot more inquiries as of late, and more people getting interested in joining Patriotic Alternative Scotland, which I'm really happy with. So although it is still a slow but surely process for people to join up and going through the vetting system and all of that, but it is getting there when it comes to this. So speaking of which, if you're watching this and if you're interested, let me see if I can find the banner here. If you're based in Scotland, if you want to get involved, whether it's to do IRL activism or even behind the scenes work, contact me through scotland@patrioticalternative.org.uk. That's scotland@patrioticalternative.org.uk. So yeah, let's move on from there. So yeah, let's start off with the demonstrations, because the first major one for me in a long time was actually in Glasgow. And XL Viking, I think you were there as well in Glasgow at the time. Might be wrong on that, but maybe you can correct me in the chat. But basically, one of my colleagues who just joined PA Scotland notified me and others about this Glasgow demonstration that was going to be held by UKIP. You were there at XL Viking, right? Perfect. That's good to hear. Yeah, so I will be honest, right? This person was very into this idea, like, oh, we should go there, we should bring the banner, the Scotland for the Scots PA banner, and I was like, yeah, I mean, we could do that, but in the back of my mind, I was thinking, there's no way they're going to have us there. As soon as we unveiled the banner and acknowledging who we were, and you know, we were actually there that day, I was convinced that the UKIP members were just going to be telling us to basically fuck off, essentially. Like, oh no, you're Patriotic Alternative, you're the real fascists, the real neo-Nazis, and blah blah blah, and all of that. So I was a little bit nervous going into it. I got a train from Falkirk to Glasgow, and I brought the banner with me, and I had to place it in my bag. We met up. It was myself, Scooby Doo News, and a couple of other people who are not public members, but so obviously just for privacy's sake, I'm not going to name any names, but if they're watching, they know who they are, that type of thing. And we met up at I think it was like a pub or a restaurant at first, and further along the way, there was like not across the road, but further along, UKIP were there, and across the road from that was all of the lefty, anti-whites, you know, the stand up to racism cunts and all of that. The same people. The whole thing is just a complete front for the Socialist Workers' Party, I think they're called, or something to that effect. But yeah, so that was that. So the whole thing was they were doing a demonstration. They were going to be doing, well, not going to be doing. They were getting together and doing a what is it they called it, like a walk or something like that, from one area of Glasgow to another, still within the main city centre, but obviously we're going from point A to point B, that sort of thing. And we're all getting ready. We handed out leaflets and all of that. We got to a certain point. I can't remember the name of the street, but that was meant to be the big meetup point for everyone who attended the demonstration, for the UKIP demonstration. And that was when Scooby Doo News and the other gentleman who I got to know before. Well, I got to know them. Oh wow! I just received a donation. Thank you, Aunt Sally, for the £5 donation. Greatly appreciate that. Sorry, back to what I was saying. So yeah, so we all met up. We all went to the meetup point for the protest or the demo walk, wherever they call it. And that was when the idea came out, where everyone was gathered, everyone was all buzzing and all that. They were like, "Let's do it. Let's unhurl the banner, the Scotland for the Scots banner." And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'll take it out of the bag. And that was the moment where I was like, right, this could go either way. Either people don't mind us being there and actually like the banner, or people telling us to fuck off, essentially, because UKIP have a history of, I think that some people in UKIP at the time, I don't know if they're still there at this point, they made speeches about, oh, we would never ally with the forces of a patriotic alternative because they're the real fascists, the real neo-Nazi threat, all this other gay shit you would hear from the anti-white side of things. But anyways, we unhurled it, and to my shock and surprise, which I still can't believe it, many people resonated with our banner and agreed with that. Joe Marsh is in the chat. How you doing, Joe? Thank you very much for watching the show. So, although saying that, a couple of my colleagues, like Scooby Doo News and the other gentleman, again, I'm not mentioning his name because I don't know if he's technically a public person, so just for privacy's sake, they were talking about our talking points, ethno-nat talking points about white minority, and all this and that, what's actually really going on. Some people did resonate with it, but there were people that were just like, guys, we understand, who you are and all of that, but just try and, keep it down a little bit, that type of thing. Because ultimately speaking, it was, a UKIP demo, which is funny, considering the fact that, what's his name, Nick Taccone, I think is Tanconi, or whatever his name is, they tend to share a lot of ethno-nationalist talking points, but they sure as hell don't want to be side to side with actual ethno-nationalists, which, really makes you think, doesn't it? But anyways, we were there, and eventually the main UKIP guys came along and said, look, well, there is something else I want to add, but I'll get to that in a moment, because Scooby Doo News did actually made a video about this, and they uploaded it to his YouTube channel. I wonder if I can actually share that channel in the description, just in case if people haven't subscribed to his channel already. Notification. Yeah, again, Ansel, if you're watching, thank you very much for the £5 donation. I greatly appreciate that. Ragnar Iron Spears in the chat, thank you very much for watching the show. Let me just see if I can find Scooby Doo News, and I'll share it in the chat just now. Again, just in case if people haven't subscribed, please subscribe to his channel. He actually does make pretty good videos. In fact, the one he did fairly recently, he himself was actually at the Falkirk demonstration this past Saturday. Unfortunately, I couldn't go because I was busy with work commitment and all of that. But I might be jumping ahead, but seeing the videos and the photographs that were taken that day, I was like, fuck, I really wish I was there now. But it is what it is at the end of the day. But anyways, we'll get back to the story in a moment. Actually, wait a minute. Anyways, we'll get back to the story in a moment. I'm just listening to the feedback about on my stream. I think I want to try something real quick. 1 second, because I don't know if the microphone is actually picking up here. 1 minute. So, Toffee, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. I want to try this for a moment.
Right. Is that any better, folks? Is it much clearer now? Hold on. Right. Is that any better, folks? Is it much clearer now? Hold on. I'm just listening to the playback. I'm just listening to the playback. If I actually listen to that, that might be it. Right. Perfect. Yeah, that's fine. At least I can hear it. If everyone else can hear me, if you could let me know in the chat, that would be fantastic. Let me see. But yes, Toffee, thank you very much for watching. Nick Pepperoni constantly whinges about waste, says he's an absolute muppet. Yeah, again, just like Tommy Robinson and co, he's just controlled opposition. Like I said, they have no problem having ethno-nationalist talking points, but God forbid if they actually were to stand side to side with actual ethno-nationalist type of thing. But it is what it is at the end of the day. I mean, you can't really do much with that, can you? So, but yes, with my colleague Scooby Doo News, because like I said, he made a video about the Glasgow demonstration. And then that video clip, I'm sure many of you have actually seen this. Nick, Taccone, and others were just like, it seems like we're being banned from our own demonstration because apparently a bunch of far-right, what was it, far-right agitators or far-right agency or agents or something like that, they're trying to infiltrate the demonstration. They need to leave, basically get lost, that type of thing. But then as soon as they came up to us, we acknowledged who we were, we got the banner out and all of that, and it's like a complete 180. They're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. I think they did say to one of my colleagues, like, the banner's fine and all, but just at least don't have it out front because again, it's the UKIP demo, and we're like, yeah, that's completely fine. We weren't taking over or anything like that at all. We just wanted to be there, acknowledging, PA Scotland were there and were part of the protest and all of that. We do, because we do kind of share the same idea in terms of like what we're protesting against at this point. But anyways, so we did that. It was a fantastic day out. I was really happy with the whole thing. And then it got to later on that day, because of course I got the train back home from Glasgow to Falkirk, and just seeing all the posts on mainly X, I think Telegram as well, but X more specifically was like, it just kind of blew up. Not to say it went viral or anything like that at all, but people, it's kind of funny because it was a UKIP demo, but people were acting like as if, oh wow, this is like a patriotic alternative Scotland demonstration, and it's like, no, we were at the demo, but it was not our demonstration. We didn't claim it to be ours or anything like that at all. But no, it was pretty funny nonetheless. And I think also it did came along a lot more of the inquiries from people like, who are either interested in joining PA or they were just curious about what exactly PA is, that type of thing. So yeah, that was that. The other demonstration I went to, and I'm sure people have seen the image with me and and Laura. I wasn't expected to be like a selfie type of thing, but it is what it is at the end of the day. But I went to the major PA demonstration in Newark, or I think I pronounced it right, in Nottinghamshire, which I won't be honest, it did kind of cost me quite a bit, and I think it did maybe underestimated the travel cost because I was going down by train from Edinburgh to the train station that was close to the demonstration. I think I did really underestimated the costing price and all of that. So, but it is what it is when it comes to that. But the reason I went down there, of course, was because I wanted to, actually be there and be part of the overall PA group. Not to mention, I wasn't the only one from PA Scotland that were going to be there. 4 other people were going to be there. Well, they actually were there as well. The same exact people that were at the UKIP demo, which I was happy with. So, at least. at least PA Scotland made it somewhat of a presence at that demonstration also. And again, I'm sure you've seen the videos and all of that. My colleague Scooby Doo News actually made a video about it as well, and you can see my lot were quite. We're quite a passionate bunch. I'll definitely say that. We're definitely a very passionate group of individuals. But anyways, so we did that. I managed to get back home okay. I actually got home pretty late. Well, not late, but so I went there early in the morning and I didn't arrive there until maybe 1, maybe just after 1, maybe almost 1:30. No, actually, wait a minute, because the demonstration itself, well, our demonstration was starting at 1 p.m. The anti-white guys showed up an hour before because again they want to showcase that there's like more of us than you, that type of thing. But sorry, excuse me. But we went down there. I definitely would imagine in New York there was definitely a lot more of us than those lot over there. So, but it wasn't exactly past bedtime. But so I got back on the train. Didn't arrive in Edinburgh about maybe, I think it was 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. So I was like, right, I'm in Edinburgh. God damn, I need a drink. But I got back to Edinburgh. I thought maybe I'll get myself something to eat for like dinner type of thing before I get a train from Edinburgh back to Falkirk. So I ended up getting something to eat, it was a burger or something with that, which was actually quite nice. And got back home. I didn't get back home until maybe 8ish, maybe 8:30 in the evening. But yeah, that was it. Double. I always go for double when it comes to like a burger. Singles is not much for me when it comes to it, which I guess that would explain the me being fat. But anyways, but yeah, and that was that. God damn it! Sorry. And that was that for the demonstration. Good thing there's water in this way, Matt. Well, for now, anyway. All right. So now, of course, we get to the Falkirk demonstration. Now, I found this out. I think it was maybe the day before, or I think it was the Thursday before, or the same week, but of course 2 days before the actual demonstration. Unfortunately, I couldn't go due to the fact that, like I said earlier, I was busy at work. I was committed with work type of thing, and I kind of figured, well, I did not work on a Saturday, like twice now, so maybe I can maybe do this to kind of make up for it. And I'll be honest, right, with this past Saturday's demonstration, I didn't think there would be many people there in Falkirk. But later on, when the day came, because like I said, my colleague actually was there on the day, and to see the photographs and to see the videos that surfaced on that day, I couldn't believe that. There was I think there were reports about there was maybe 4, 5, maybe 600 people that were there. Some people say there was about maybe 700, which I think maybe that's a bit of a stretch. But I definitely did see there was a lot of protesters on that day. And because prior to that, there have been a couple of instances of sexual attacks that has happened with a couple of people. I think there were some sources say a couple of them were minors. Some people say one of them was a minor. Another person was like a young man that got attacked by these migrants from that Cladhan hotel. And yeah, so don't know what happened there, but apparently my microphone on unplugged. But I guess it's working now. But yeah, just want to double check. Sorry, yeah, same one, right? I think it's fine now. But anyways, as I was saying, so because of those incidents that happened, and also what ended up finding out at the demonstration, again from the videos that I've seen, there's actually been a lot of people. So in that area, or the Cladhan Clannon Hotel, I think it's called, where it's based in Falkirk. Quite close by to it, there is a massive park called Calendar Park. There's also a historical building there called Calendar House. It's quite a touristy type of area as well. Well, if you're going to Falkirk anyway, but there have been like a number of reports, well, instances from multiple people who claim that, you know, they were there out with their dogs or with their kids or families and whatnot, and they would actually get approached by supposedly from these migrants from this hotel, not really speaking really a lick of English and all of that. So of course many people were concerned and they were, you know, scared for their safety. And this was like multiple occurrences. There was one stream of watch where there was this woman who was living in one of the tower blocks in the background. You might see in the, again, either images or the videos or streams that for that matter, making a claim that when she was living there, some of these migrants from that hotel would actually go to these buildings and again do a toilet or whatever, and it's just like the most unhygienic way possible. I mean, yeah, this is coming from like multiple people who live in that area and are just deeply concerned by all of these harassments and all these attacks that are happening. So to the point, there was a demonstration. Of course, there was a counter protest that were there. Of course, the same group of people. Some of them claimed to be from Falkirk, but it's kind of funny. I was watching a little bit of a stream called Bring the Noise podcast, which I don't normally watch a lot, but saying that, oh, fuck, I lost my train of thought when it comes to it, because there was something that was mentioned in that stream. Bollocks, it might come back to me. Let me just read out a couple of things to the chat, and it might come back to me actually when it comes to it, because there was something significant in what was mentioned in that stream. I think it was the Bring the Noise podcast. But anyways, Toffee writes, I watched the stream of a demo in Wakefield yesterday. The lefties were heavily outnumbered and sulked away with their tails between their legs. They asked the police to escort them to their cars. Well, you know, it's funny that you mentioned that last part, because these lefties, you know, they claim to be from the area, but of course we all know that's bullshit. And they're like, oh, we're not busted, we're actually from here. And then there's been actual fucking video footage, whether it's the Epping protest or the one in Wakefield, or I think there was one happened fairly recently, and it turns out they're all fucking bussed in. They're all actually getting on buses to go back to their designated areas. There were some people that were mentioning the lefties from the past Saturday's demonstration. They were all actually getting a police escort back to the Falkirk High Street. Was it Falkirk High Street? The Falkirk High train station. Either again a train back to either Glasgow or to Edinburgh. Again, none of these are actually from the area. Are actually from Falkirk. I mean, there may be. Oh yeah, that's right. The Bring the Noise podcast, because that guy would try and talk to both sides of the demonstration. There was a couple people that were claimed to be based from Falkirk, but they didn't want to give a comment. Why? You know, you claim to be from Falkirk, and you're over at the counter demonstration side. Why don't you want to give a comment? I really just don't understand that logic. You know, if you're going to go there, actually have the balls to actually stand by what you believe in, because a number of these fucking lefty types, you know, they go to these demonstrations, they talk down to the local residents, they are acting as if like they own the fucking place, and then as soon as you try and ask them genuinely, like, you know, why are you there and all this and that, they just refuse to comment and act incredibly hostile towards you. It's like, you know, like you're the type of people that claim to wanting to protect these migrants rather than your own people. You know, if you're actually going to do that, at least have the fucking courage to actually stand by what you believe in, because they're the same people that will turn around and claim that we don't stand for our beliefs and all that. Oh, you hide behind masks and all that, which again, I don't understand why they would hide behind the masks themselves, because it's not like they're going to get arrested. Nothing's going to happen to those people. Those people are the definition of conformity. You know, they're the people that claim to be the big bad rebel fighters. You know, oh, we're going to take down the government, but they're just useful idiots for the fucking government. You know, it's, oh, we need to eat the rich, motherfucker. You're part of the fucking rich. What are you talking about? You're everything that you claim to stand against. Like you're the definition of conformity. Everyone, especially at this point, with all these demonstrations all across the country, everyone can clearly see that. Everyone can see that, and it's so refreshing to see a lot more of the protesters rather than the counter protest law, because there was this particular song they would sing over and over and over again. I remember this from the Erskine demonstrations that I was part of a couple of years back, and there was a song that they were saying, there are many more of us than you. Well, it's so fucking great seeing the tide or the shift, or what is it, the whole thing completely do a complete 180. Now it's like the local residents are singing that song to them, and you know what, rightfully so, because for a while now they have been completely just vitriolic to the community. They were just complete bastards when it comes to it, and it's so great seeing the the tables have completely flipped at this point. And as Toffee said in the chat, they just look completely defeated. Oh, they may act like, oh, well, we stand defiant. It's like, mate, everyone can see you've completely been defeated. No one takes you lot seriously. I think ever since the Epping demonstration, when they were basically defending these migrants, and the whole point of it, why is it that you're defending a group of migrants who it's been confirmed that they've done these sexual attacks on the local community? Like, why are you defending them? And some of the arguments they would make, like the one in particular I remember, well, rape happens all the time, so you can't exactly blame on a specific group of people. Like, okay, rape happens, yeah, of course, but that doesn't make it okay. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The amount of mental gymnastics from these people is just absolutely astonishing. Exile Viking, real quick. Oh no, sorry. Before that, Chaz Smash. It's happening a lot now. Lefty outnumbered can only be good. Yeah, definitely. People are just fucking fed up with that. They're fed up with the same exact bullshit that's been happening over and over again, and people are actually stepping out over it, and it's great. It's great seeing many more people actually coming out and calling out on the bullshit. And you just see these lefties, these anti-white scumbags who are we're just like, what do we do? In fact, there's an image I'm going to show that I think perfectly encapsulates. Hold on, maybe later. I'm just seeing. I know it's on Telegram. I'm just seeing if I can get up here just now. And again, this was a photograph that was taken by my colleague Scooby Doo News, who was there. And I think this image right here perfectly sums up these people in a nutshell. If I can get it up here and loaded real quick. 1 second. Let me see if I can also get this up here and see what's going on my phone. If there's been any updates with that. Right. Why is it not loading up? Come on, this computer is taking its sweet arse time. Was it that one? That'd be the password. Wait a minute. I think it is. Yeah, perfect. Right. I'm just seeing if I can find saved messages from me. And I can get this photo up here just now. Oh, excuse me. Right, I'm going to share. If I remove that, I don't need that anymore. I should have done that at the start, but anyways. Oh yeah, XL Viking. So there was well over 1,000 locals last Saturday, 200 or so smelly buses and soap dodgers. Chaz Smash wrote, lots of YouTube clips of commies getting loads of hassle. Can't be good for their morale. No, it can't be. In fact, the thing is, I would just imagine if there's been because it's happening up here in Scotland now, and a lot of these lefty types, they're just scared shitless now. They're like, well, what's going on? Like, well, what are we doing? Like, we're being outnumbered by these fascists, by these neo-Nazis. What are we gonna do here? And they make these really gay PowerPoint presentations, like basically, oh, this is a growing fear of the far right and all of that. It's just such bullshit. So they probably might be thinking to themselves, well, what can we do? Like, well, I mean, 'cause we think this is just going to continue on, and it's not going to get, it's not slowing down. Like, this is just getting bigger and bigger. And that's when, and don't be surprised when you see this. I wouldn't be surprised if groups like actual Antifa or like the Young Communist League or anything like that at all, actual violent groups that actually will come in and try and, again, do something like violent or anything like that at all. And that way, the protesters will get blamed and then say, oh, see, this is why we can't have these demonstrations because it results to violence. I hope that's not the case. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that were to happen at that point, because I think at this point in time, I wouldn't be surprised if these lefty types or these anti-white types will start to become desperate and are just like, well, what can we do? We have to stop this immediately. Anyways, let me see if I can get back onto Telegram real quick. And I've got the image right here. Now, this was the counter demonstration types. Let's see if I can actually can I zoom in on this actually? Wait a minute. Fuck, what was it? This one? Yeah, here we go. Right, just take a good hard fucking. Is that a migrant in the window? Anyway, sorry. Yeah, just take a good fucking look at them, especially this clown right here. Just right there. Let me just yeah. There we go. Your enemy is not the refugee. Your enemy is the one who made them a refugee. Who are those people, sweetheart? I'm actually genuinely curious. I think they're a specific ethnic group, which I want to mention, but just in case. But yeah, this image right here with some of these absolute smug cunts. In fact, I think there's maybe. Can I move that along a little bit? Yeah, there's another. There's another. Just these complete smug cunts acting like, oh, we're the big bad rebel fighters. It's like, mate, you're the definition of conformity. What are you talking about? There's nothing rebellious or what was it Laura said actually? There was a point she made about these counter protesters. There's nothing it begins with an N. Oh, fuck, was it an N or something like that? Oh no, it wasn't N, it was a D. There's nothing defiant about these people. They're just complete useful fucking idiots. Some of them may be useful idiots, but some of them are like maybe not necessarily, I don't know if it'd be the right word, paid actors or something like that, but basically they're getting paid to spout this type of bullshit type of thing. But anyways, back onto here real quick. So yeah, that was that. What's the YouTube? Oh, I've read it already. If they are forced to close lots of hotels, where will they put the illegals? I mean, there's a good possibility. I think they might move to like a different location, like another hotel or something like that. And look, I think people need to find out where they're being taken and all of that, and just could do another demonstration there. Really showcase to these councils. Look, there have been a number of reports that have happened in these areas by these migrants. And that's another talking point these anti-whites are now using. So because Scotland is currently a white majority country, so I believe that the percentage, currently speaking from the last time I've seen it, was about 92.8% white majority or something to that effect. Might have changed, I don't know, but that was the last time I've seen a percentage of that. And that must have been like a while back ago. But because of that, a lot of these anti-white types are making a point about, oh, it's not the migrants that are the problem, it's white men that are the problem. And I was that close away of responding to some of these messages on Facebook, by the way, and I was really close to of asking them, so these quote-unquote white men you're talking about, do these white men, quote unquote, have last names that end with Stein or Berg? just a food for thought. But anyways, but yeah, that seemed to be the talking point with that. I guess these absolute dipshits don't understand the concept of per capita. Yes, at the moment in time, Scotland is a white majority country. More of these migrants are keep coming in, and there's a lot of crime that's on the increase. And when you look at the data, the statistics per capita, you will actually see that most of these crimes being committed are actually done by these migrants. So I I mean, how dare I bring up per capita? But I mean, that's just the state of fact. But anyways, so I wish I was at that demonstration, but unfortunately, that's not the case because I was at work. But saying that, I am planning on going to another demonstration. If there is one coming up, I'm not sure when and where, but if there's another one, I definitely want to go to that. Tricky Woo, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. And also, just real quick, I have received a donation from Aunt Sally earlier on. Again, Aunt Sally, thank you very much if you're still watching, which was a £5 donation. Sorry, the microphone did that again. I don't know what happened there. But anyways, sorry. If you want to send a donation or two, you can do so via my PayPal, which is the link is in the description, is also up there as well. Again, if you want to send a donation, that would be fantastic. Toffee in the chat writes, Afghan sex crimes are absolutely off the charts. Was there not something like the Afghan immigrants are like, what, 20 times more likely to commit a sex attack or something like that? I can't remember where exactly I've seen it, but I have heard people making that point before, and it's from an actual statistic. I think the Lotus year is even talked about as well, but if I remember, there's Sterling on Saturday at 1 p.m. at Kings Park for the farmers. I've heard about that. I can maybe have a look into that as well. Perfect. So thank you very much, Excel Viking. I'll have a look at that as well. That would be Saturday at Stirling. Right, perfect. Kings Park. We shall see with that. So I'm going to see if I can actually make it there this time around, but we'll see with that. Yeah, Sargon covered it. Right, fair enough then. So, yeah, one little thing I want to mention about the Falkirk demonstration was the aftermath. So I still have Facebook, currently speaking. I never, ever use it, but I would go on to it from time to time and see what people are, talking about. And of course, because this past demonstration in Falkirk, there's definitely a lot of people that talked about it, both positive and negative. Scooby-Doo News, Speak of the Devil, is in the chat. How you doing, sir? Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. I was talking about the Falkirk demonstration, and you did a really great work there since yourself was at that demonstration recently. But yeah, so I did see the aftermath of people making comments about, some people were saying, "Oh, this is a fantastic turnout. Falkirk should really do themselves proud." And then there was the other side. And again, for people who I've known personally, and I'm not going to mention any names, obviously, for privacy's sake, but just the amount of gaslighting, the amount of cuckolding I've seen from these people. Most of them are women, by the way, which of course, no fucking surprise there. I mean, women in basic human rights was a fucking mistake. But anyways, moving on from there. But I really want to understand. There's like all of this evidence that has happened. A lot of people from that area talking about their experiences and how they're afraid to actually go near Calendar Park because of what happened and all that. Like from multiple witnesses and multiple testament, multiple people giving their side of what actually happened. And despite all of that, and then of course the two major events that happened, one with a young girl, another one, I think it was another young girl, or was a young boy or young man that happened with the sex attacks. Of all of this that's happened, and crime has now increased because of that. All of this evidence that has been backed up, and these people still will go to such a length and talking about how it's not the migrants that are the problem, it's white men that are the problem, and these people have human rights and they need to be accounted for with their human rights. It's like, fuck right off. These people couldn't give a flying fuck about these migrants. If you really want me to be brutally honest, these are the kinds of people that love diversity as long as they don't have to deal with the bullshit. As long as they don't live near it and they don't have to deal with the fucking bullshit. It's so fucking transparent. I'm sorry if I'm getting agitated or anything like that, but just the amount of venomous comments I've seen from the people talking about the protester side of things. You know, again, from people that I know personally who talking about, oh, it's just so expected what you would see from these protester types, and I'm like, well, what do you mean? And they're like, well, they're these Ranger supporters, you know, monarchy supporters, you know, they're probably on the dole, and it's like, how the fuck would you know? I've seen the videos of the protest. I've seen the photographs. I'm sure that there's a couple of people in here, like Scooby Doo News and XL Viking, who actually were there that day, who've actually seen the firsthand. There was British flags. There was also Scotland flags. Now, I would picture it as some people there, again, being unionists or monarchists or being Rangers fans. That yeah, that's to be expected. And I wouldn't mind those people being there. I would also imagine, from what I've seen from the photographs and the videos, being people with Scotland flags. Guess what? They're probably mainly Scottish people who don't see them, who either don't support the monarchy or don't support unionists or anything like that at all. They're just normal, everyday, regular people who are just concerned about their children and their overall community because of what's been happening with that hotel. You know, it's just the absolute contempt that has been thrown towards the protester side of things. Like, it's shocking. And again, the gaslighting from these absolute anti-whites, these counter protesters, because there have been a couple of people at the protest this past Saturday. One that threw up like a Roman salute, and one person that had a flag that said that I think it wrote "Kill them all." God will take care of the rest, or something to that effect. Now, I don't know if that is the case, because something similar happened with the Epping demonstration where someone claimed, oh, look, these people are fucking stupid. Look at their banner. Why they've misspelled a couple of words here and there. And then it turned out that photograph was photoshopped. And the banner itself actually read, you know, protect our children in proper grammar and all of that. So it's no surprise that these anti-white types are prone to lie, and they will lie out of their fucking arses off. I want to see, 1 second, folks. I want to see if I can actually get a light on, because it's a little bit dark in here. Hold on a sec. It's not like dark, but from the camera. Damn it. 1 second. I'm still here. I'm just going to see if I can get out. Actually, what was the thing I normally put? Yeah. Oh, crap. I should have even brought this out, but time to bring out the ring light. Maybe I should start using this more, considering that, you know, summer's coming to an end and autumn is slowly but surely coming along. 1 second. Just see if I can get this up here. At least you can all see the wallpaper. That's that's a plus, I guess. Where is it? I'm gonna plug it here. Yeah. Right. I'll plug it. Attach it here, I should say. Right. Maybe that should do it. Hope it works. That's better. There we go. Let there be light. Anyways, as we were saying, so Scooby Doo News in the chat. It was the same crew of scabs from the Epic. Erskine said no struggle. Same tyranny activists. Same homosexual content. Same thugs. Same traitors. So so-called trade unionists actually commies. Yeah. Again, I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, in the videos and in the photographs, there were a couple of people from the counter protester side of things that I did recognize, and I'm like, oh, they were from the Erskine demonstration. Funny that, huh? Chaz Smash, they can't really attack the message, so they attack the messenger. Ultra, yeah, that's true. That's very true. And I wouldn't be surprised at some point that's what's going to happen. You know, they're going to get to the point where these counter protesters, you know, they're being outnumbered, as we can clearly see from all these demonstrations across the country. That there's going to come a point where there's going to be violence, and the only people that will start the violence are the leftist types and the anti-white types, because they'll start to bring in groups like Antifa and all of that. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if that were to be the case. I'll be shocked and surprised that they don't show up. But again, just don't act surprised when they do show up. But if they do show up, I would say do be careful. They're complete fucking cowards, I know, but they do attack people in packs. They never attack individually. They're just complete fucking cowards. But anyways, yeah, I would imagine that in that case. What was the thing that I was mentioning? Oh yeah, so I'm really pleased it turned out with the Falkirk demonstration. All the people who are against it can, quite frankly, go fuck themselves at this point. But yeah, so people of Falkirk, they have spoken on that day, and apparently there's going to be another demonstration from what I've heard. I don't know if it's a go or if it's not, or maybe put on hold, but apparently that's going to be happening not this coming weekend, but I think the weekend after. So we'll just need to wait and see with that. But this is the thing I would say to all these demonstrations: just keep going, just keep doing it, just keep going. The Epping Hotel, I believe, they've succeeded in getting the migrants out. So just keep doing what you're doing. And the demonstrations, these protesters, they're in the right. They have every right to be concerned and angry about what's going on. So, and all of these counter protesters are just complete anti-white scum who will literally throw their lot under the bus just so that they can get ahead. And of course, we're not racist. We're this and that. We're pro-Palestine and all that. What the fuck does Palestine have anything to do with these demonstrations? We're not talking about Palestine. We're talking about what's going on in our back garden. What's going on right here, right now? Like, why are you bringing up Palestine for? Is like, oh, well, you should be more concerned with that. Maybe you should be more concerned about your own people and your own fucking country. How about that? Fucking scumbags. I can't stand these people. And that image I showed earlier on by my colleague Scooby Doo News, the one where they're all just like standing there all smugly and all that says it right there. Like they're the definition of conformity, and no one really should take anything they have to say the least bit seriously. They're complete scumbags. Third world pedophile defenders, that's what they are. And all this gaslighting about, it's white men they're the most likely to commit these crimes. Yeah, have you ever heard of per capita, mate? You ever heard of per capita? Yeah, you're right in saying that Scotland is a white majority country, but have you ever heard of the concept called per capita? And I know that's a saying a lot of these anti-white types really hate, but yeah, that is the case when it comes to it. So, hold on a sec. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Sorry, I'm just checking my PayPal and see. All right, that's cool. Perfect. That's fine and dandy. Yeah, you can still send a donation or two here and there if you want to on PayPal. I don't know if I still want to keep using PayPal. I don't know if I want to use maybe another donation provider, like maybe what's the other one people tend to use? Streamlabs, I think it's called, or I don't know, something to that effect. But anyway, it's there if you want to donate, either down there or up there if you want to. Sorry, it's going to be entirely optional. Yeah, when it comes to it. Coffee, I did have a coffee, but that got deplatformed for. I actually wasn't given a reason why that was deplatformed. It was just taken down, just because, I guess. Which even to this day, I still have not gotten a reason as to why my coffee page was taken down. No reason whatsoever that was given. I think I also wrote to them like, what's the deal here? Like, why is my coffee page been taken down? And again, still nothing. So I guess it's because of my streams and my political takes and all of that. But anyways, it is what it is at the end of the day. So was there anything else to maybe? Well, actually, there kind of was, but I guess maybe I can actually save that for another stream down the road, because it's all to do with like Scottish independence. But can't be the old cleaned out soup can for donations. That's true, actually. Yeah, but unfortunately, this is all digital and all this and that. But it is what it is when it comes to that. But what was I going to say? What was I going to say? It was something. Oh yeah, so there was another thing I was wanting to talk about, but maybe I might want to save that for another stream at some point because it's all to do with Scottish independence. Well, not necessarily that specifically, but what I've noticed on X, there has been an awful lot of pro-independent accounts that have been floating across X, and I've actually been bookmarking a lot of them, and it's something that I definitely do want to cover on the show at some point. So maybe not tonight. We can maybe cover that on the next episode. When will that be? I don't know. Maybe that might be this coming. Maybe we can maybe do it on Monday if I can. So, but we'll see from there with that. So, what we can do in the meantime, if I can get the banner up here just now before we end the show tonight, we could maybe just do the classic Q&A section if you want to. So, if you have a question to ask me, please feel free to ask me a question in the chat. It can be anything at all, of course. So please feel free to ask me that. We'll do it for this Q&A section for maybe what time is it now? Just after 7:30. Maybe 15, maybe up until 8 o'clock, but it depends on any of the questions coming in and how many do come in when it comes to that. So yeah, the time is now. If you want to send a question or anything like that, just feel free to ask me in the chat just now, and I'll be happy to answer them. And like I said, if you want to donate to the show, PayPal is down there or just at the top of the chat there. As I mentioned, Aunt Sally was the first one to send a donation. Again, greatly appreciate that, Aunt Sally. Again, if you want to send a donation, it's there basically when it comes to that. So I'll wait for a question to come through, and we'll see from there. How do you think Trump is doing? I think Trump's doing terribly. Ever since the whole, in my opinion, the whole Epstein files and how he's denying it all. There's no such thing as the Epstein files documentation. Like how he's outright denying it now. All of a sudden, I think people can just see through Trump now at this point, and it is kind of pleasing to see that. That being said, sorry, excuse me. That being said, yeah, I think it was only a matter of time before people can actually see through Trump, and because I think there was like a massive split that happened with the Trump crowd. But anyways, yeah. So I think Trump is not really doing that great at this point in time, in my opinion, when it comes to it. But we'll see from there with that. Farmer Sat, I'm assuming that's to do with the demonstration in Stirling on Saturday. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can be there. At the moment, I'm saying yes, but something might change that. I don't know, but at the moment, I'm saying yes. I'm definitely coming to that demonstration. There might be a chance that it might even might change, but maybe not. So, but I'll just let you know when it comes to that. So for now, yes, I'll be there. In Kings Park at 1 p.m. That's fine. I know where that is, so yeah, I'll see if I can actually get there in time. Just checking on a couple of things as well. Excuse me. Trunk Q didn't do nothing. And another one for Tricky Woo with that, yeah. So well, see, this is what I don't understand. Like, there's been a lot of talks with the Epstein files and all that, and people were like, "Oh, please release the Epstein files." But now all of a sudden, Trump and co are acting like as if, "Oh, well, no, that never happened. That's a liberal propaganda." Like, what? What? Why are you gaslighting people? You clearly were the ones that were, championing at the idea of, "Oh, we need to release the Epstein files and all, and blah blah blah." But yeah, it's not gonna come out at any point. It's not. It will come out, but it will be, as I would imagine, heavily redacted or heavily censored with regards to that. So anyway. Sorry, excuse me. Any more questions to come through? Anything at all? Anything? Anything at all? I'm just gonna wait another 5 or 10 minutes or with that. So Maxwell will be released because of the deal Epstein did when he got time. Right. I would imagine that. Yeah, definitely in that case. To borrow your phrase, it really makes you think. Yeah, yeah, it really does make you think. Yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah, exactly, Tricky Whip. Exactly. Yeah, those people getting off scot free because of of who or what they are. But right, I don't want to make this dead air. I'm trying to speak as much as I possibly can, but um, let me see. Let me see. Well, my throat is a little bit parched at the moment, so yeah, guys, if you don't mind, I think I might just end the stream here at this point in time. It's 7:37. Throat's a little bit parched. I am gonna use the donation I received tonight and see if I can get something to eat. So I'm gonna head out just shortly with that. I'm not too sure what I can afford with the £5, but I'll see if I can figure something out with that. So, but yeah, so I'm just gonna end the stream here just now. I possibly might be back with actually, you know what? I'm trying to think whether or not if I should maybe do a stream on Saturday while I'm at that demonstration. I don't know. I'm not too sure if maybe that would be a good idea or not, but um, I'll think about it when it comes to it. If I don't do that, I'll probably come back and do another stream on Monday because I think I'm off work on Monday anyway, so that'll be try to get a lift up there if you can. Yeah, is there meant to be like an issue with the train services? Because I remember hearing something about like there's a problem with the trains services during this coming weekend. So I don't know whether or not if maybe that might have anything to do with it, but I don't know. So uh, I'm gonna be watching Paul English live on Rumble at 8 o'clock. He's always good. I think I might have heard about Paul English, but well, we'll see from there with that. Thank you very much, Aunt Sally. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can try and get there on time with being Sterling and all of that. So, um, but yeah, with that, so I'll see if I can try and do a stream on Saturday. If not, maybe Sunday, and if not Sunday, definitely be Monday because like I said, I'm off work on Monday anyway. So, or at least from what I know at this point in time, I'm getting the bus up. I think I might be getting maybe I'll try and get a bus up there too, but we'll see with that. So, anyways, that's going to be it for tonight's episode. Thank you very much for coming along and watching the stream. I think the highest amount was about 15, maybe 17 people watched the stream, but that's actually pretty decent considering I've not been streaming for the past 2 months or so. But it is what it is with that. So, and finally, if you want to leave a donation at the end of this of the show, or even when the show comes to an end, because I'm not gonna play an outro song or anything like that at all at the moment. I'm just gonna end it like it is. So, but if you want to leave another donation, again, link for PayPal down in the description, or it's up there in the top right corner when it comes to that. So any donation received, greatly appreciate that. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I'll hope to be back as soon as I possibly can. I'm going to try, I know I mentioned this in the previous streams, but I'll try and come back and do as many streams as I possibly can with that, but we'll see. But anyways, I'm going to bring this up here just now. Support patriotic alternative. So there we go. all my other social medias. If you haven't followed me there already, which I'm sure the majority of you have anyway, but just an idea. Anyways, that's going to be it for tonight's episode. Thank you very much for watching. This is Chief Moody signing out. You have been watching the Mood of the Nation podcast, and I will see you all in the next episode. Take care, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the weekend when it comes, and yeah, I'll see you all in the near future. Thank you all, and good night. Take care.